What if I told you that Supercell once released a card so broken, so utterly unfair, that they had no choice but to permanently delete it from the game? Not nerf it, not rework it, delete it. In the entire history of Clash Royale, there have been cards that broke the meta, cards that made players rage quit, and cards that forced emergency maintenance at 2 AM. Today we're going through all of them, the most broken cards Clash Royale has ever seen, ranked from completely unfair to how did this even make it out of testing. Let's get into it. Let's start with something more recent. When Clash Royale introduced card evolutions in 2023, the whole balance system was new and Supercell was still figuring out balance. Most evolutions were strong, the Evolved Firecracker was in a different universe. Within weeks of release, over 80 of the top 200 players on ladder were running her. For context, the second most popular evolution at the time had around 36 players using it. She was literally more than double. Players on Reddit were sharing clips of her surviving everything, bouncing her projectiles off towers, wiped out entire pushes by herself. The community reaction was basically immediate. Emergency nerf, now. The crazy part? Supercell developers were on vacation when she dropped, so the game sat in this broken state for weeks while everyone just had to deal with it. Some players said they quit the game entirely during this period. When the nerf finally came, her base stats were pulled back significantly. But even then, players argued it wasn't enough. This was Supercell's first real lesson that evolutions needed way more testing before launch. Fast forward to 2024 and Supercell still hadn't fully learned their lesson. Enter Goblinstein, a brand new champion card that arrived with the October 2024 season. Before he even launched, something unusual happened. In creator preview videos, players noticed Goblinstein was doing things that no card in the game's history had ever done. It was ignoring buildings entirely, and even stranger, it was damaging underground Teslas that were buried in the ground, invisible. No card had ever done either of those things, not once in almost a decade. Supercell quickly clarified these were bugs, not features, and patched them before release. But the chaos didn't stop there. Once Goblinstein actually launched, its Lightning Link ability, which changed between troops and towers, was doing massive damage to crown towers. We're talking 71 damage per tick to level 11 towers, which only had a 15-second cooldown. Top players immediately started building decks around just spamming it. Supercell called an emergency maintenance break. They cut the ability duration by 20%, slashed its tower damage by 36%, and increased the cooldown, all within days of the card releasing. It was one of the fastest turnarounds from "this card is live" to "we need to fix this immediately" in this game's history. Evolved Knight is a special kind of broken, the kind that even after getting nerfed was still completely dominant. When the Evo Knight launched, it came with an 80% damage reduction shield. 80%. That means you could throw almost any card at it and it would just tank through. Players hated it. Supercell issued an emergency nerf, dropping the shield to 60%. Here's the thing though, it barely mattered. After the nerf, there were still 139 players in the top 200 running Evo Knight. The community started pointing out that's something uncomfortable. If you couldn't beat the Evo Knight, your only real option was buying it yourself and using it. And buying it meant getting the paid Diamond Pass Royale. Whether that was the intentional, players were furious. It felt less like a game balance issue and more like a system designed to make you spend money. The Evo Knight controversy became one of the bigger moments where the community seriously questioned whether Supercell's balance decisions were really about fairness at all. And here it is, the card that started it all. The only card in Clash Royale history to ever be permanently, officially, completely deleted from the game. The heal spell launched in 2017. On paper, it sounded fine, a spell that heals your troops mid-battle. But in practice, it was a nightmare to balance. When it was strong, it was too strong. When it was weak, nobody used it. There was no middle ground. For 3 years, Supercell kept tweaking it, nerfing it, buffing it back up, and the community kept complaining no matter what state it was in. In 2020, Supercell made an announcement that genuinely shocked the Clash Royale world. They were deleting the heal spell. Not reworking it, not vaulting it temporarily, gone. This had never happened before in the game's history. Players who had spent time and resources leveling up their heal spell were understandably upset. What would happen to their card, their progress? Supercell replaced it with the Heal Spirit, a completely new card built from scratch, designed to deliver healing in a totally different way. Instead of a slow area spell, it was a fast-moving spirit that exploded and healed troops in a burst. The total healing was actually higher than the original spell, but the delivery made it much easier to balance and counter. But here's what makes this story so wild. The heal spell isn't really gone. Every lesson Supercell learned from its failure went directly into creating the Heal Spirit. The deleted card basically became a completely better version of itself, It had to die to be reborn. And to this day, the heal spell remains the only card ever permanently removed from Clash Royale. After almost 10 years and hundreds of cards, nothing else has come close to that fate.